Hi everyone, it's Erin. Welcome back to another video tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use your ledger device to interact with XC-20s on decentralized exchanges on Moonriver. XC-20s are native substrate assets that can be transferred between a parachain and the relay chain or other parachains connected to the same relay chain. They have an ERC20 token interface to maintain Ethereum compatibility, so you could interact with XC-20s as you would any other ERC20. And thanks to Moonbeam's Ethereum compatibility and unified account system, you can do so much more than just swapping on DEXs with your XC-20s. You can also add liquidity to pools and stake LP tokens, and the best part is, all of these transactions can be signed using your ledger device. We'll cover all of this in the video today. I'll be showing you how to interact with XC-KSMs. So first we're going to swap Mover to XC-KSM, but also note that if you want to deposit KSM to XC-KSM, you have the option of doing that through the Moonbeam dApp. You can go to apps.moonbeam.network/Moonriver to do so. There's a separate video that covers exactly how to go through those steps, and the link is in the description below. To follow along with this video, you'll need the Ethereum and Moonriver ledger apps installed on your ledger device. This is because the Moonriver app relies on the Ethereum app being installed. You should also have funds in your account and your ledger connected to MetaMask. Check out the links in the description below for exact instructions on how to set up the Moonriver ledger app and connect your ledger to MetaMask. So to finally get started, you can head to a decentralized exchange such as Zenlink or Solarbeam. The choice is ultimately up to you. Please note that this video is not an endorsement for any project, and remember to always do your own research before interacting with a DEX. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and use Solarbeam. So here you're going to swap Mover for XC-KSM. Just make sure to leave some additional Mover in your account to add to the liquidity pool in the following steps. So the first token can be set to Mover, and the second you can search for XC-KSM and select that. And then enter the amount of Mover to swap. The amount of XC-KSMs you'll receive will automatically be generated for you. So click Swap, and then review the details and click Confirm Swap. MetaMask will pop up and prompt you to sign the transaction on your ledger device. Make sure your ledger device is unlocked, the Moonriver ledger app is open, and you have enabled blind signing in the settings. Then go ahead and click Confirm, which will send the transaction to your ledger. Over on your ledger, you can begin to review the transaction details. You can click the right button to get through all of the screens. The first screen will show you that blind signing is being used. Then you'll see the amount of Mover that is being sent. Next, you'll see the address for the transaction. Then the amount of fees you'll pay. And then you can choose to accept and send, or you can click the right button one more time to get to the reject screen. But in this case, we want to accept it, so click the left button to go back, and then click both buttons to accept and send the transaction. Over on Solarbeam, you'll see a transaction submitted screen once you've sent the transaction. From there, you can click Add XC-KSM to MetaMask. Since I've already done it, I'm not going to, but that's just one easy way to add the XC-KSM token so you can see your balance in MetaMask. Once the transaction goes through, you should have Mover and XC-KSM tokens to add to a liquidity pool. So click on Pool at the top of the page and then click Add. Mover will be your first token and XC-KSM will be your second. For this example, you can just use the max amount of XC-KSM that you have. Next, you can click Approve XC-KSM. MetaMask will pop up again, and you can click Confirm to send the transaction to your ledger. Then again, take some time to review the transaction details by clicking on the right button to get to the next screen, until you get to the Accept and Send screen. Then you can click on both buttons. On Solarbeam, you'll see Approving XC-KSM, and then once the transaction finally goes through, you'll see an Approve XC-KSM notification in the top right corner. Now you'll be able to confirm adding liquidity, so let's go ahead and do that and confirm the supply. And then MetaMask will pop up again, and to send the transaction to your ledger, go ahead and click Confirm. You can review and send the transaction on your ledger, and once you do, you'll see the transaction submitted screen on Solarbeam. You'll just have to wait a short bit, and then you'll see another notification in the top right corner, and your pool share details will appear at the bottom of the page. You'll also see the amount of LP tokens you have. Now you can go ahead and stake these LP tokens. So scroll to the top of the page and select Farm. On the Farm page, search for the XC-KSM Mover pair. Once you select it, you can enter the amount of LP tokens you would like to stake. For this example, you can just select the max to stake all of your tokens, and then click Approve and Stake. MetaMask will pop up again, but you'll notice the screen is slightly different this time around. This is because you actually have to sign a message approving the transaction before you can send the transaction. So on your Ledger device, you'll see Sign Typed Message. You can click the right button to begin reviewing the message details. First, you'll review the domain hash, and then the message hash. And then if everything looks okay, you can sign the message, or you can click the right button one more time to cancel the signature. But I'm going to go back to sign it, so I'm going to click the left button, and then once I get to the sign screen, I'm going to go ahead and click both buttons to sign the message. Once you've signed, you'll then be prompted to send a transaction, and this actually stakes your LP tokens this time. So go ahead and click confirm to send the transaction to your ledger again, and this is like the typical send the transaction workflow that you'll go through. So you can just go through the steps to review the transaction and accept and send it. Once you've sent the transaction, you'll notice that on Moonbeam you have a pending transaction in the top right corner. You'll also notice that you can click the stake button, but you don't want to do that because the transaction is actually being processed right now. And if you click stake, you'll essentially just be doing the same steps over again, and because you already staked all of your LP tokens, the transaction would ultimately fail. So just wait it out, and once the transaction goes through, you'll see a deposit notification, and then your staked amount will update, and so will your holdings on the left side of the page. And that's it! Congratulations! You successfully used your Ledger device to swap, add to a liquidity pool, and stake XC-KSM and Moonriver on a DEX, all using your Ledger to sign every transaction. You can feel free to adapt this video for other XC-20s, and at any time you can unstake your LP tokens, then remove your liquidity and transfer your XC-KSM back to Moonriver. You can also transfer it back to KSM directly using the Moonriver app. And of course, you can use your Ledger device for every step along the way. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.